Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Good evening. Good evening. Once again, to the Fresh Cut with Krich. You see the background. Thank you guys for tuning in once again. This is week 80, guys. Week 80. All right, that's a milestone. I've been doing this for 80 weeks strong. So let me make sure everybody can tune in here. But basically, the only thing that we're pretty much going to discuss tonight, guys, is the NBA playoffs. I mean, we've all been watching it. It's been going on. It's been great. Been a great NBA playoffs. Eastern Conference, Western Conference. I mean, we got LeBron. I mean, it's so much to go over, guys. But let me see who tunes in here. But yeah, NBA playoffs, man. Things really been getting kind of crazy this past week. We had a couple of teams get swept. Things of that nature. So we're going to get right to it tonight, guys. We're going to get right to it. Okay, so going over this past week, I know when I spoke to you guys last week, we were still talking about the NBA playoffs, but that continues, guys. NBA playoffs continue. So we're going to back things up a little bit. So remember we had Cleveland playing against Toronto. We all thought this was going to be a good series, but turns out wasn't a very good series, or as good as a series as I thought it would be. Okay, we're going back to game 2. LeBron James scored 43 points, all right, as the Cleveland beat Toronto in game 2, 128-110. High-scoring game there. Them boys putting up some points. But at this point, all right, they took a 2-zip lead. I knew Toronto was in trouble because check this out, guys. In game 2, not only did LeBron score 43, Kevin Love, I told you guys the play of Kevin Love was going to be a difference with the Cleveland Cavaliers and their success this year. That was going to be the difference this year. And what happened, guys? Kevin Love showed up big in game 2. He had 31 and 11. So like I said, if he averages a double-double, it's over. So Cleveland took a commanding 2-zip lead over Toronto. Then moving over to the West, remember we had Warriors against the Pelicans. I also expected this to be a better series. Anthony Davis, Rajon Rondo, those guys really impressed me in the first round. But Golden State, actually, okay, now this was game 3. Okay, game 3, the Pelicans actually won 119-100. They were trying not to, they didn't want to get swept. But even though they won this game, I still was like, okay, look, they're not going to beat Golden State 3 more games. It's just not going to happen. So they took that game, but we'll get back to that series in a second. We're switching gears. Then also remember we had the Rockets and the Jazz. So we got James Harden, Chris Paul going up against Donovan Mitchell. Arguably that guy probably is going to win Rookie of the Year. Very great series, guys, here. Good matchup here, but we're going back a little bit. In game 3, James Harden had 25 and 12. Houston won 113 and 102 to take a 2-1 lead in the series. So Eric Gordon had 25 points. Chris Paul had 15, 7, and 6. Not bad, not bad. CP3, veteran point guard. So the Rockets have a very dangerous point guards that can both score and they both love to have the ball. But what a series that was. We'll go back to that series. So that was game 3 there. Okay, and then remember we had the Celtics and 76ers in the East. Boston Celtics against the Philadelphia 76ers and Joel Embiid, the process, Ben Simmons. Those guys are very young. I do expect a bright future for Philadelphia, though. But this is game 3. Boston won 101-98 in game 3. A close one here, guys, in overtime. I've been watching this series. I pretty much watched every game of this series. Great matchups we had here. But you got to give it to Boston and what Coach Brad Stevens is doing, guys. You got to agree. Without Kyrie, without Gordon Hayward, those boys are making some noise in the East. And I've seen them. They got a good team. I mean, they scrap. They can shoot. You got Al Horford banging down low. That guy controls the paint. I mean, he can easily get a double-double as well. I mean, Terry Rozier stepping up. I mean, they got all kinds of guys. Marcus Smart. They got all kinds of guys. And they all click together. You know what I mean? Jason Tatum's been playing excellent. Jaylen Brown. I mean, they got some weapons here, and they were just too much for Philly. Okay, and then guys, game 3 of Cleveland and Toronto. Okay, guys, another instant classic. Another instant classic. Most of you saw the whole game. Those of you know what happened at the end of the game. What a game this was in Game 3, guys. Now, this one was played in Cleveland. It was close. It was tight. Very tight game in the third and fourth quarter. Back and forth, back and forth. Once again, game was tied. LeBron James had the ball. A couple of seconds left on the clock. I mean, you know, we all know who's going to get the ball at the end of the game. Like I said, I mean, there's nothing you can do. We know LeBron's going to get it. LeBron hit another game winner to win 105-103. I mean, he banked in a running one-hander at the buzzer, guys. If you go back and watch the replay, very difficult shot that he made there. Drove to the left, off one leg, one hand, off the glass. I mean, it was smooth. It was smooth. It was like, man, this guy here, man. But once again, he did it again. And he just, I mean, I don't even play for Toronto, guys, and I felt the pain that they felt. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, the pain of going down to Cleveland again. They just can't get it done. They can't beat them. I felt bad for those guys. I was like, man, that game right there, they put everything on the line, and then to come out, LeBron beat you at the buzzer. Hey, it is what it is. I mean, it's LeBron James. It's LeBron James. So that game he finished with 38 points. Kevin Love had 21 and 16. Now that's his second double-double. Like I said, Kevin Love, if he can do that consistently, I mean, Cleveland's going to make a deep run. We all knew this. They're just, you know, they're clicking at the right time. Kyle Korver even had 18 for Cleveland. Sharpshooter from the outside. Korver can knock down threes off the dribble. He can spot up anywhere from on the floor. So they got a lot going on. Now, Kyle Lowry actually had 27 in this game, guys, but it wasn't enough. DeMar DeRozan struggled gracefully in this one, all right? DeRozan was on the bench for a lot of the game. Shot 3 of 12, only had 8 points. So DeRozan, you know, was nowhere to be found in Game 3. So at this point, they're down 3-0. We all knew it was over by here. I mean, we're like, look, no team's going to come back 3-0. And you're not going to come down. I don't think you're going to come back 3-0 being down at LeBron. Getting back to the Houston series, Houston and Jazz in Game 4. Houston Rockets took Game 4. Won 100-87. Took a commanding 3-1 lead in the series. And, yeah, I mean, Utah Jazz at this point, I said they're in trouble. Houston's playing great. Chris Paul had 27 and 12. James Harden had 24. Then they got Clint Capella down low, big man. I mean, he's fundamentally sound. There's not, you know, actually in the NBA nowadays, there are a lot of fundamental big men, and he's one of them. So Clint Capella been playing amazing for those guys. Donovan Mitchell had 25 points in that game, but he did foul out. So at this point, Houston went up 3-1. Going back to the Pelicans and Warriors. Warriors won 118-92 in Game 4 to take a 3-1 lead. So Kevin Durant, I mean, this guy was unbelievable. He was aggressive, attacking. I mean, the guy's 7 foot, and he can handle the ball like a point guard. Spot up from anywhere on the floor. Kevin Durant is a problem. So obviously, too much for AD in this game here. Now Durant was 38. He had 38 points, 15 and 27 shooting. I mean, he's killing them out there. Steph Curry had 23. Remember, Curry is back. Thompson had 13. Anthony Davis had 26 and 12. But the Pelicans missed a lot of threes in that game. I mean, they really couldn't get anything going. So now, at this point, Pelicans are down 3-1. Back to the 76ers and Celtics series. 76ers actually won this next game. They won Game 4, 103-92, to prevent from being eliminated. So their backs were against the wall. At this point, I say, okay, whatever. I mean, you're still down 3-1. And the next game had to go back to Boston. So they did win Game 4. So Philly was not out of it yet. So they took Game 4. And then the series clincher in the Raptors-Cavs series, Cleveland closed out Toronto. Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan actually blew them out, 128-93 in Game 4. Sweep. It was a sweep. Get the brooms out. Get the brooms out, people. A lot of people even said Toronto was going to win the East. Well, I mean, that says a lot when you got to go up against LeBron James in the playoffs. You know, not much you can do there. But in this one, LeBron James finished with 29 points, 11 assists. Kevin Love, 23 points. I mean, Kevin Love's been consistent, man. That's 3 games he scored over 18, 19 points. You know what I mean? So, Kevin Love playing well. Jonas had 18. Kyle Lowry had 10 assists. DeMar DeRozan got ejected for a flagrant foul. Questionable call. I mean, I don't think it should have deserved an ejection, but whatever. Even with DeRozan in the game, I don't think they want to win this one. But they had a heck of a season. But it's just something about LeBron James in Cleveland. The Raptors have nightmares about those boys. They can't do it. They can't beat them. Why? I mean, LeBron James is just too much for them. They've even admitted it. You know, they said it sucks to know you can't beat a team. You lose to the same team over and over and over. Same team puts you out of the playoffs. Well, I knew Cleveland was going to win. I knew Cleveland was going to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. I knew it. So, Cleveland won that. All right, and then we had an incredible game, guys. One of the best games we've had this whole playoffs. And that was last night's Celtics 76ers. Celtics eliminated Philly 114-112 to advance to play, guess who? LeBron James and Cleveland. So the Eastern Conference Finals is set. We got Cavs and we got the Celtics. So same Eastern Conference Finals from last year. I'm going to go ahead and make my predictions now. I think it'll be a great series. I think it's going to go at least 6 games. No less than 6 games. Maybe 7. Maybe. But I say Cleveland wins in 6. That's what I'm going to say. I say Cleveland wins 4-2. Celtics going to get 2 wins. All right? They're going to get 2 wins. But I say Cleveland wins 4-2. But, hey, anything can happen. Now, the thing is, Boston, how do you slow down LeBron? That's going to be the biggest question. Well, they do got a lot of guys. They got a lot of talent that can definitely slow him down, possibly, maybe aggravate him a little bit, try to wear him out so they can put Marcus Smart on him. They're not going to put Terry Rozier on Bron. Come on. Terry Rozier is going to be matched up against the point guard at all times. But I know Marcus Smart, for sure, they can probably put him on Bron. I don't know if they're going to put Jason Tatum on him. That might be a mismatch. A rookie against Bron, I don't think that's going to work too well out for him. But we'll see. We'll see. But the Celtics have been playing great, man. 114-112. They eliminated Philly. Philly's out of there. Maybe next year, Joel. Maybe next year, Ben. But Embiid did have 27 and 12 for 76ers. Ben Simmons had 18 points, 8 boards, and 6 assists. But, hey, got to give it up to Boston, guys. Like I said, without Kyrie Irving, their leader, they've got to play with a different mentality now. And they've actually, I'm impressed with what they've been able to do. So for them to make it this far without 2 of their best players, that says a lot. Jason Tatum had 25 in this game. Aaron Baines had 13 and 9. Jaylen Brown had 24. So they had some balanced scoring, man. When I'm looking at the stat sheets here, guys, balanced scoring from the Boston Celtics. So like I said, they can definitely give Cleveland problems, but I do think Cleveland wins in 6, 4-2. Okay. And then Rockets eliminated the Jazz 112-102 in Game 5. Chris Paul scored 41. CP3 was unbelievable, guys. Unbelievable for Houston in this game. I mean, he was going back to his old ways, what he used to do. This guy hit 8 threes. He was unstoppable, going to the paint, making layups, shooting from the outside. Chris Paul did it all in Game 5, guys. He did it all. James Harden, they say, didn't really feel too well in that game. But he did take a lot of shots. He still jacked up like 22 shots. Come on. Still took a lot of shots, James. But anyways, Rockets 112-102. They advanced to the Western Conference Finals to play what we've all and see who we've all been waiting for. And that's the Golden State Warriors, guys. Warriors eliminated the Pelicans in the West in Game 5. Golden State won that series 4-1. Curry, Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. Way too much for Anthony Davis and the Pelicans. But great run by New Orleans. Very impressed with what they did this year. Remember they lost to Marcus Cousins. But I think series could have been different if Cousins was in there. But obviously, he's an aggressive player. Probably a lot more technicals would have been called in that series between him and Draymond. Those boys get a lot of techs. But Warriors won 113-104. I was watching this game, but it got boring after a while. Pelicans tried to make a late run, but I knew they were done when they when they lost that last game. Anthony Davis did have 34 and 19, guys. Anthony Davis went off. Drew Holiday finished with 27 and 11. Actually, 27, 11, and 10. Triple-double for Drew. Mirotic had 12 points in the game. Looking at Golden State, Draymond had a double-double, 19 and 14 for Draymond Green. Iguodala was a non-factor. Kevin Durant, 24 points. Like I said, he's a problem, man. 10 of 18 from the field, so he only missed 8 shots. Steph Curry had 28 boards. I'm sorry, 28 points. 20 points, 8 assists. Klay Thompson with 23 points. I mean, balanced scoring from Golden State. And that's what they do. Those guys click at the right time. They move the ball. They have guys who can shoot from the outside. But here's the thing, though. This Warriors-Rockets final Western Conference Finals matchup, my prediction here, it's going to be tough, man. This is what we've all waited for. What can James Harden, Chris Paul do? Can they slow down the All-Stars on Golden State? We'll see. But at the same time, looking at Golden State's roster, I don't think they have nobody that can slow down Clint Capella. Draymond will get in foul trouble. Same thing with Durant. You know, those guys can get in foul trouble. I think they're going to have a problem with Clint Capella down low. Capella's going to control the boards. We'll see. Obviously, James Harden and Chris Paul have got to play outstanding. They've got to, because if those two guys, for whatever reason, get shut down or have a bad game, it's over. It's over. They're not going to beat the Warriors, and then we're going to have another Cavs-Warriors finals again. If they don't, I hope not. I'm rooting for Houston. I'm rooting for James. I'm rooting for Chris Paul. I would like to see a different finals matchup. What if we did have Houston and Boston? How crazy would that be, guys? It's unlikely, but I do think that Warriors-Houston goes, I'm going to say it goes 7 games, and the Warriors win in 7. Warriors will win in a game 7. It'll be great. Everybody will be watching, but I say Golden State wins in 7, and Cleveland will win in 6. So there you have it, guys. NBA playoffs continue. Now, looking at the schedule, I know that was a lot to digest. We pretty much had a game, or at least 2 games every day for the past week and a half. But looking to the future, near future, that is, we don't have any more games. We got a couple of days to chill, relax. There's going to be no NBA until Mother's Day, which is this Sunday. I'll actually be in Ocala visiting my mother, so it'll be a great time. Can't wait. It'll be a great time. So Mother's Day coming up. But on Mother's Day, take your mom out to dinner, everything like that. The only thing is this game, Cleveland-Boston, actually starts that same day. I'm thinking it was going to be an 8 o'clock tip-off, something like that, after you get home from dinner, everything like that. Nah, game's at 3:30. So that's a 3:30 tip-off, game 1. On Mother's Day, catch it if you can. Just game 1, but it'll be a lot of fun. And then Rockets-Warriors, if that's Sunday, Rockets-Warriors should be starting on, Monday or Tuesday? So make sure, I know you guys are going to tune into that. Now, TNT is going to have that series, Charles Barkley inside the NBA. It's going to be great. So that's my predictions. Let me know what you guys think about the playoffs so far. LeBron James, unstoppable. The guy's incredible. He can make a bad team good. So watch out for Cleveland. They're not going anywhere. But like I said, Cleveland going to win in 6. Boston's going to get 2. Cleveland will close them out 4-2 in that one. And then, like I said, I think that Warriors-Houston is going to be one of the best series we've seen in quite some time. That's going to be an incredible series, guys. But I do think that, like I mentioned before, I do think Golden State wins in 7. So there you have it, NBA playoffs. And like I said, a couple months, guys, football will be back. NFL, college football, about 4 months, guys. Less than 4 months, to tell you the truth. I think college football, games actually start late August. So, a couple of months, very exciting time. So thank everybody for tuning in. This is another episode of The Fresh Cut with K. Rich. Sunday, 3:30. Make sure you guys, if you can, tune in. Definitely enjoy your Mother's Day, but we got Cleveland, Boston, game 1. It's on. Draymond's ready. Bron's ready. This is going to be... going to be something. It's going to be something. Meaning that, let me rephrase that. Draymond's ready for Houston. He said it in a press conference yesterday. He said bring it on. But LeBron will be ready for the Celtics. But I don't think the Celtics are going to stop Bron. They're going to give him fits here and there. Bron's still going to average 35, 40 points in the series. So there you have it. Tune in next week. Fresh Cut will be week 81. We'll already have game 1 concluded in the Eastern Conference Finals and the Western Conference Finals. Yeah, we'll go from there. So like I said, thank you guys for the support. Appreciate you guys for tuning in week in and week out. Once again, let me know if you want to be a special guest on the show. I'm here. I'll bring you on. Ask you a couple of questions. We can chat it up, everything like that. It'll be great. So once again, Facebook Live. I'm still doing it. Week 80. I'm out. Appreciate all the love and support.